Since he's your friend, Bob, you go and put the dino in the hallway. My family and I just drove past our old house, and it looks great since it had been remodeled and all that good stuff. But it's haunted. That's probably why it's always on the market and had to be remodeled so nicely. I just want to share the story of how we found out it was haunted. So one night, my cousin, my brother, and I decided to have a sleepover down in our basement. It was the weekend. We had no school and it was already dark out. There were 6 of us in total, aged from 8 to 11. One of my cousins, let's call him Jay, who brought over his brand new dinosaur robot where you press some buttons and it roars, it moves its head, and walks a little bit. We all thought it was very cool, and we all wanted to play with it. As we were taking turns, my other cousin, let's call him Bob, said, "Hey, my new friend wants to play with the dino too." We were all like, "What friend? Did you invite someone else? We only see 5 of us." Bob then said, "He's over there, in the hallway. He's too scared to come out, but he said the dino is cool, and he wants to play with it." We were all a little spooked since when we looked in the hallway, it was dark and there was no one there. Bob's brother, let's call him B. B then said, "You are so stupid and a liar. Are you blind? There's no one there. You're just playing a trick on us so you can play with the dino all by yourself." The rest of us agreed with B and said maybe Bob shouldn't get to play anymore if he was going to play tricks and scare us. Bob then said, "No, really, I'm not lying or playing a trick. I'll prove it to you." My friend said, "Just put the dino in the hallway and he'll take his turn playing. He won't take long." We all looked in the hallway. It was still dark and creepy looking. We couldn't turn on the light because it was one of those where you had to pull the string from the ceiling. Our other cousin, let's call him Jack, then said, "Since he's your friend, Bob, you go and put the dino in the hallway for him to play with." We all didn't want to go down the hallway. Bob then agrees to put the dino in the hallway. He walked calmly to put it down and then ran back to us. We kind of just laughed at him. We watched and waited. We watched and waited. But nothing happened. B then spoke up again and finally said, "What were we all probably thinking? See? I knew you were a liar. There was no one there. You stupid blind..." B didn't even get to finish yelling at Bob because then we heard the dino roaring and walking. Bob then said, "I told you, my friend is playing with it now." We all looked at the dino again to see if someone really did come play with it, but we saw nothing. It was just roaring and walking by itself. We just stayed still and watched, all of us scared. Jack then whispered, and we got a little spooked. Jack said, "Guys, I think it's a ghost. I'm going upstairs to sleep now. Run." Jack then ran up the stairs and then we all screamed and ran after him. We all quickly gathered our blankets, pillows, and decided to sleep in the living room together. But we couldn't even sleep at all that night. All night we kept hearing the dinosaur roaring and walking downstairs. When we woke up the next morning, we all talked a little bit and decided to destroy the dino. We asked Jay first if it was okay and he said it was okay. And he didn't want it anymore anyways. His dad would just buy him a new one since they were rich. We then went back downstairs to the basement and grabbed the dino quickly and broke the crap out of it. Jay's father never bought him a new dino. We tried telling our parents what happened and why we broke the dino, but they didn't believe us. We never played at night in our basement again. That's if any of us ever want to sleep over at my house anyways. We moved out of the house in 5 years. When we moved out, our neighbors, an old rich white couple, said, "Oh, you guys are moving out already? It's okay. We knew you guys wouldn't live long there." My parent then asked them, "What do you mean?" The couple then said, "Well, the house is haunted. Back then, there was an old couple that lived in your house. They were watching their grandson and made a fire in the basement. Apparently, the fire got out of control, they died, and the house burned down. My parent then thanked the neighbors for the info and for being such good neighbors. Then we left. The next time my brother and I saw our cousins, we told them what we had heard from the neighbor. All of us then conclude that it was the grandson who was playing with Jay's dino that night.